Rebecca's going to be talking about visibility. And I feel like I sort of have a six-pack. It doesn't really like show in my body because I hate doing sit-ups and stuff like that. But I started thinking about like my six-pack that I've got with Rebecca. So, it started out where the very first time I met you, I got into a speaker talent search, and that led to numerous speaking engagements, emceeing at exclusive events, and my own production of my own events that they were at a certain level, and now they're, I think, at a really much higher level, and I'm really drawing in some really interesting, wonderful people. I am a published author. I have my own weekly program on Voice America Business Channel, which, I have really nothing against like the women's community. I'm a woman and I am standing in that power. But you know what? I want to play with the boys sometimes too. You know what? I do. And so I own that I'm on the Business Channel. And I also have taken many of Rebecca's classes. I have worked with her privately because sometimes you just need to go in a little bit deeper to get what you want. So I've worked with her privately in group classes, and then what has come of that is another like micro community. So because of one class, it was her Money Summit, highly recommend that if she offers that again, is I got into a mastermind group with Trisha Garrett, Danielle Neester, who's not with us today, unfortunately. Why is she not here, by the way? Anyway, and Phyllis Fleming, and we meet once a week, and we've been doing it since last year. None of this would have been possible without Rebecca. None of it. So, I want to tell you a little bit more about Rebecca. Again, I'm going to need a little bit more time here, but I just want to repeat some of the things because I think they're very important. So, she is the CEO of RHG Media Productions. She has launched that international TV channel, which you had seen some of the results of that, and it is also powered by Voice America. She has transformational television, radio, books, speaking engagements that touches many lives around the world, and I think that's really important. Just being able to launch that network and having the ability to open up the possibility of having your voice being heard around the world is just phenomenal. So she really does take these very successful tips and information that she applies to her television channels, and she's also going to be able to share some of that with you today. So I would like for you to please stand up and let's welcome Rebecca Hall Gruyter back to the stage. Woohoo!
I get a hug every time. Love it.
I'm the hugger, I give him.
Thank you. So we're going to talk about visibility. We're going to talk about visibility. Now, it's interesting to me. Visibility has become one of my favorite things. That and shining. And some of that birthed with the book Come Out of Hiding and Shine, where we really talked about the journey of how do we come out of hiding? Where are we hiding? What are some steps that we can take so that we can step forward, stop hiding, and be seen? And that's a lot of what that book's about. We have 30 authors that have come together and are sharing tips and wisdom that they have learned, skinning their knees in the process, learning, falling. And here's the wisdom they can share so your path can be easier. That's what that book's about. And it started something called the Shine Vision. I thought originally it was going to be one book. And then dropped into my spirit is 3 books. And now there's more coming. So I honestly don't know how many books will be in the Shine series. But the next one coming out is Bloom Where You Are Planted and Shine. And I went on this journey of discovery about shine. Why is that word so important to me? And how does it tie into visibility? Is it just about the flash and the sparkle? Because that's not deep enough for me. I love the sparkle, don't get me wrong. But for something to have me keep coming and keep moving forward and commit so much to, there has to be something more in it. And it goes back to what we talked about a little bit in the beginning, about having to be seen in order to serve. That our service is going to be limited in the world if they can't see us. It's directly tied to our visibility. And I feel like I've discovered why that is, and I wanted to share that with you. Because when people are in pain, when they are hurting, when they need us most, it's like a big, thick pea soup fog comes down. And they can't see you. They can't hear you. They're trying to breathe. Okay, I can take another breath. They can't see hands outstretched. When we say, call us if you need us, they can't see the phone. They don't know what they need. They just know they hurt. And the only thing I know that cuts through darkness is light. And that's why I believe we need to be willing to shine brightly enough that they can see us through that thick pea soup fog. They can actually, we light the way, they can see your hand outstretched. They can see, avoid those rocks. I'm here for you. So to me, when we're talking about visibility, when we're talking about shining, it's that light. Here's what I stand for. Here's what I care about, and I'm here for you. How can I help you? Here's my hand. Do you want a hug? Do you want someone to cheer you on? Do you want someone to just sit with you? We can do that. But we have to be willing to be seen in order to cut through that darkness. To me, that's what visibility is about. And we have to remember in the journey to be kind to ourselves. We're really good at reaching out. We're really good at stretching out to others. We're not always so good at treating ourselves like our own best friend. So if you are feeling a pull, if you're feeling a call to reach more lives, to touch more people, make sure that you are also taking care of yourself, that you are being kind as to yourself as you're stretching, as you're learning, and as you're growing. That it's okay to be exactly who you are, where you are. That's enough, and be willing to shine that. I was on a trip to Southern California not too long ago, and I was going to go speaking. And there was this woman I met in the airport. And I just went, oh, that's one of my people. You know how you just kind of know, oh, that's one of my people. So I casually sat down and was kind of hoping a conversation would start. I had some time to kill before my plane. And we started a conversation, and we talked and talked. It turns out she was on the same flight, flying down to Southern California as well, not the same event. But we had a great conversation, and we talked and talked and talked. And I discovered this woman that was so giving, so loving, so warm, such a great connector, earnest. She lifted my spirit, my day. And she said I did the same for her because I was willing to reach out and say hi. We get that opportunity every single day. So when I'm talking about visibility, it's not just on stages, though I love stages. It's really being visible in our life, really knowing who we are, what we stand for, what we care about, and we're willing to stand in that. Something else I observed about myself is I was a speaker at an event down there at a conference. You know how you get the little name tag with it says speaker? And I forgot I had it on. And it was in a hotel, so I'm in the elevator and it's playing that jazz music, elevator jazz music. And people are going, oh, what are you speaking about? And I thought, they can tell. I've come so far, they just know. And then I realized I was wearing the name tag. But I ended up having a great time because every time I got into the elevator, there were new people to meet, and we had a conversation point, and they would cheer me on. Hey, you look like a speaker. You look great today. What are you going to be talking about? 3 days of this. It was wonderful. I was sad to give my name tag away, back to recycle it. But I was thinking about how funny that is, because if I go back in time 3 years, 4 years ago, even before that, I couldn't wait to take my name tag off. when I would go out. I'd make sure nobody knew who I was or what I stood for or what I do. Like, that's just for in the event. What if we went out into the world wearing what we did, who we are, what we stand for, and we let people know? International best-selling author. And what if we walked around, let people see us in that way? I encourage you to try it. That's a way to be visible. That's a way to connect. And I find they get excited. They celebrate. They want to talk with you. You're an author. What'd you write about? How did you get that story together? What brought that forward? It creates a ripple effect. Heart by heart, life by life, just being who you are. So extra credit bonus opportunity. If you were to create a name tag for yourself, what would it say? How many things would you have on it? Would you wear different things different days? Anyone want to share? Oh, I love that. The Queen.
My next thought was, oh my God, Rebecca.
Oh, I love that. People go, what are you a queen of? I love it. Who else? Who else? Yes.
Elizabeth Bachman, Messenger.
A messenger. I love that. I love that. Beautiful. Anyone else? Yes.
Deb Dutcher,
Guide. Beautiful. Barbara. Say it again. Oh, I love that. Laugh goddess. That would create some great conversations. Say it again. Wonder Woman. We could all do the Wonder Woman pose. I love that. Yes. Fun to be with. Very nice. Very nice. Smiles included. I love that. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. Baby crone. Aw. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Wonderful. So I encourage you to play with that idea and stretch a little bit. Let people know who you are. It's not a sales pitch. It's not, here, I help you with your visibility. It's more, this is who I am. This is what I care about. Can I know you? What would your name tag say? Wonderful opportunity to connect on a deeper level. So I have another template we handed out. Does everyone have it? The star? Yay. Love templates. And as I go through each point on the star, I want you to think about rating yourself. And this isn't rating like good or bad. It's more awareness. It's a measurement. And really think about, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the high, where are you? It's just something to check in on. Because if we're talking about being visible, you're feeling a call to be more visible, let's figure out in which way, in which areas. So you can actually have a plan and a strategy to get there, not just more. Does that make sense? Okay. So what goes in the center of the star? Similar message. I still didn't sound very excited. Yay, me! Exactly. Well, I'll be excited for you. You. And what I'd actually include in here is a heart that represents your people, your purpose, kind of your why. It's always wrapping that together. Because anytime we're being visible, you want to make sure it's tying into that. The way we're showing up in our life is consistent with what matters to us. And if we're looking at visibility from a really practical sense, in our business, in our personal life, are you doing this in a live fashion? So are you going to live events, clubs, meetings, going somewhere where we're engaging with people live around something that matters to you? Again, this can be personal or it can be business. So live events, and on a scale of 1 to 10, would you say I'm doing that all the time, I'm doing that lots, 10? Or 0 is like, 1 is like, this is the first one I've come to in a really long time. And just another thing to think about in this, When you're going, are you being seen? Are you just going? Are you letting yourself be seen? Are you connecting on a real level? Are you doing things that help you stand out? Helpers have great visibility. Speakers, people giving gifts, having tables, these are all great ways to be seen. But also it's how you are, because you can have a table and be a speaker and still hide. So it's something to check in on and see, are you being seen? How about community? Are you part of communities? Online, in person, family? Are you making sure to build community and connection into what you're doing? It's really important to be visible, that you have a group and people you're visible with that know you. Not just see you, but know you. Do you have a community like that, or a couple communities that you really connect in on things that matter to you? Just, 1 to 10, check in, yes, no. And none of this is judgment, it's awareness. It's good to know where you're at, because then you can decide if you want to shift that or not. But then you kind of know where to focus. And what I would also say around this community part is, do you have variety in that community or in the communities you're part of? Because we can also get into like a group think kind of thing. And I think it's really powerful to have diversity in the way that we're growing and the way we're looking at things and the way we're expanding. I think that's really important, but something just to check in on. Are you online? Facebook, social media, TV, radio. Are you interacting with the web in a consistent way? Not just your website, not just your own little list and your own world, but are you communicating with the world outside of that, growing a reach, impacting more people? Things that are important to have in that is building a free gift of some sort, because it's important to grow your list. And free gifts are a way that people typically do that. And a free gift can be something on your page that people click on. They put their name and email address so you can stay in touch, and they get sent a gift of some sort, a report, a chapter, a book. And the other thing with social media, what we do sometimes, I know I have to put everything down to show this. We come and we announce, I have this amazing thing coming up, come. Lots of time goes by. I have this next amazing thing, come. It's not a relationship. So remember, it's a platform where you can talk, you can interact. If someone says, I love you, I love your event, I love what you're all about, say thank you. Respond back, because you can actually hurt your relationship out there if it's always about you one-way communication. So something to watch when you're out on social media. And a couple other tips. If you have been interviewed, TV or radio, share your interview. Let people know, don't keep it a secret. That's the time for you to show off with someone else showcasing you. So share about it. If you're going to be a speaker at an event coming up, let people know. Let them know you're a speaker that speaks. Audio. So we're looking at all these different medias and ways you can be visible. These can be interviews, telesummits. Again, another format that you can share out there, share great content, podcasts. And keep in mind, anytime you're sharing anything through the internet, that equals international. You are touching the world. Even if a lot of your business or a lot of what you're looking to do is local, you actually position yourself more powerfully when you're seen on an international stage and market. So it's really great positioning. And then in print. This can be magazines, it can be articles, newsletters, books. But if you're really looking to have a global impact, you want to have a multi-pronged approach to your visibility. And you want to be consistent and have a strategy. Because those of us who fail to plan, so you can have a plan, you can have a strategy around every event you go to, every community you're attending. And it can be, I just want to be fully present. That can be the plan and the focus of the day. It could be business goals. It can be all different kinds of things. But this helps you build visibility. This helps you build your life in a purposeful way. So I really encourage you to pause, take a look at where you are in these areas, and think about what you're wanting to bring forward. And is there another area or two that you want to build a strategy, you want to start stepping forward in so that you can move and touch the lives that you're called to touch? Move forward the things that you care about. And then we're going to hand out we're going to hand out an opportunity where I can support you in really personalizing a strategy. I love strategy around visibility. We can see where you're at and where you want to go and some tips to get there most effectively. Because not everybody is trying to achieve the same thing. We're all at different places and we're all wired and made differently on purpose and for a purpose. And we tap into that when we're building a strategy. So I really want to extend this opportunity to you. You'll see there is a free level there if you want to join a group that will celebrate with you. It's called the Rebecca I Said Yes. And we celebrate with you. Wonderful opportunity to join a group. And then for those of you who want to have that conversation and really plot out a way to move your visibility forward in the areas that matter to you, we'll dig into that, we'll get clarity, and help you step forward. So I'd love to extend that opportunity to you. And as you're thinking about that, I wanted to give you a couple quick tips. Can I do that?
Yes.
Ready for some tips? So I already shared, if you're interviewed, you share it. The other thing you want to do is you want to put it on a media page on your website. And every once in a while, you share these videos out. You share out, I was interviewed here, or I was on this, or April reminds me of this. And you keep sharing, you keep getting leverage off of those shows and interviews that you've had. Plus, it builds great credibility for people that are checking you out as a speaker. So put them on your website, on your media page, and share them out. You want to always share after the show, too. 90 to 95% of your viewers and listeners listen to the replay because we like to play on demand. We don't like to move our schedule around to listen to something live. We like to play it when it's convenient for us. How many of you would like to get some visibility on radio? Is that really? That's it? Oh. Well, hopefully this will sound exciting and more will want to do that. What you do is you can go on voiceamerica.com. I'm sure you can do this on Blog Talk and some of the other platforms, but they organize it by subjects. So you can look up shows on the Health Channel, you can look up shows on the Wellness Channel, on the Women's Channel, and then you choose a time that works well for you, and you listen to that show. And now remember, I told you 99 to 95% of listeners are listening after, which means they're not listening live, which means hosts would love to have you call in and ask a question. They always give you the phone number. Call in, say something nice about the program. Don't just call in and say, I'm Rebecca Hall Gruyter. I care about women. I'm not sure what your show is about, but I want to share this. So call in, say something nice about the show that you've been listening, keep it succinct, and say your name and a little tagline that goes with your name. That becomes part of the permanent recording. And if they like you, they may have you talk more, and they may actually have you come back as a guest. So it's a great way to leverage that platform. It serves the show, and it can serve some great visibility for you too. So just a couple quick tips. And then ultimately, really look for opportunities to share the gift of you. There's no one else just like you in the world, no one else that has your gifting, your talents, your abilities, your journey, or your voice. You are here for a purpose, and I believe for such a time as now. So I invite you to look for opportunities to share the gift of who you are with another, life by life, heart by heart, table by table. Let people know who you are and dig in deeply to who they are, because we can light a fire and a spark in each other and make a global difference. If you just picture like stars in the sky, if we can light up this world for those things that matter most, create a purposeful way of being around the world, you all get to be a part of that journey. So last question, eyes closed. Are you willing? Are you willing to be seen? Just a little bit more. Share just a little bit more of who you are. Just see what the answer is, yes or no. And then, if you're willing to let me see you on that level, and you're a yes, you're willing to be seen just a little bit more, I invite you to stand carefully with eyes closed. Stand in that yes, that you're willing to be seen, and share just a little bit more of who you are. Eyes still closed. I see you. I celebrate you. The world is richer for your standing. And then I'm going to count to 3. And if you're willing to let us as a community celebrate and support you too, I invite you to stay standing as we open our eyes. Those of you who this is enough and you're not ready to be seen on that level, completely fine. I honor that. I see you and I celebrate you. So on a count of 3, 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, and 3. Open up your eyes and celebrate. Thank you for the gift of sharing you with the world. Are you a speaker looking to reach more people with your message? You have a global vision that you want to touch the world and make a global difference. If so, I have an amazing opportunity for you. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. You'll find all the details, but here are the highlights. With one application process, you get clarity on your message. You get to fine-tune how you want to reach the world. Then you'll have everything ready in one place for the opportunities when they come. Second, we select you as a finalist. You get to come in and audition with a 7-minute audition, open up the door to hundreds of speaking opportunities. I hope you lean in. I hope you say yes. We would love to hear your message. Help you touch the world powerfully. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your powerful message. So anyone have an aha they want to share? Yes, come on up. Oh, love it. And we can, yeah.
So it actually, the microphone, actually relates to what you were just talking about. And I've been observing this for a while, how brilliantly you efficiently pull things together. Doesn't she? So I really took to heart this star that I created. I even have me as a tree in the center.
Beautiful.
And I made on my list that I'm going to share the video from today. I'm going to post it on my website. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page.
I love
and,
that.
If you notice on the back of the program, I'm going to be writing in Rebecca's TV guide. And so I have several of these strategies already down. Yay.
I
Thank you.
love it. Celebrate. Beautiful. I like how you're leveraging it and you're putting it right into action. It's beautiful. Now, would you like fairy dust?
Of course.
Okay, it's always a choice. Okay. Describe your fairy dust.
Have you ever seen those color transference cars? The one that have, like, you look at it in different light and they have two different colors. So I went purple and transference aqua. I want it to have the flavor of strawberries. And I want it to smell like, I'll be with Samaya today, frankincense. And I want it to kiss my cheeks when it lands on me.
Beautiful. Hey, let's stand and get ready to deliver. 1, 2, 4, 3. Hi, I'm Rebecca Hall Gruyter, and I'm the producer of the Empowered Connections TV channel. And I wanted to personally invite you to come on over, enjoy our amazing shows. We are all about empowering women. We're all about transforming lives. We're empowering men to really step out and be all they can be. We are looking for programming and shows to bring things to the next level. So if you are somebody that feels a show birthing within you, you have a calling to bring your show to life and touch the world, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. We are launching new programs and shows every week, every month, because we're going to change the world. I look forward to talking to you.